Hello folks, welcome to the GDTOLOGY Channel. My name is John Kim. Today's topic will be on what is Gd&T. Well, geometric dimensioning and tolerancing really is a complex mathematical language. It's used really to, communicate your design intent on a piece of paper, on a drawing, or on a three-dimensional model. The thing about this language is that it's an international language. It's used all over the world. Currently it's being used in Europe, it's used in Asia, South America. So the biggest misconception is, well, when people use Gd&T, they write in such a way that, hey, it looks like Gd&T on a drawing, but when you send it to like 5 or 10 different people, maybe they'll read the drawing, and maybe one guy will do the inspection, another girl will do a quality check, and basically, like I said, it's a written language. So if somebody doesn't write it correctly, you're going to have confusion and chaos. Now, the thing about Gd&T, first of all, it's basically used, like I said, to communicate your design intent, right, to the rest of the world so you can get stuff made. Now, the thing is that really Gd&T is really used in the manufacturing industry. The thing about manufacturing is that typically your profit margins are about 10 to 15%. Depending on what industry you are, but in general sense, about 10-15%. Your profit margins are slim. That's why we have all these other quality standards, or what they teach in school, like TQM, ISO. You got Six Sigma for lean manufacturing. You got all these standards and basically processes that are used to really slim down excess. So when I say that manufacturing has slim profit margin, Gd&T has a lot to do with that as well. For example, let's say you design assembly, you've got 15 to 20 parts, and basically you have high rate production. For example, we take the automotive industry, the electronic industry, or perhaps the aerospace industry. They all use Gd&T, and the beauty about Gd&T is basically, when used correctly, you guys can have interchangeable parts. But when you don't have Gd&T, it's going to be like a throwback, like back in the 1700s, where you have plus minus dimensions. The thing is that when you don't use Gd&T, you don't have the interchangeability of parts. That's why you guys can go to let's say a Ford dealer and maybe buy an alternator, and it'll bolt up right up to your car. Now, back in the days, several hundred years ago, they didn't have this capability, right? Each part was really both bespoke or custom to that whatever product it was. So you didn't have that interchangeability function. So what I'm really saying, people, is basically Gd&T is a language used for interchangeability. In addition to that, basically when you use Gd&T, all parts will go together the first time correctly. Now, the hard part is where do you learn this Gd&T, right? I mean, there's a couple websites you guys can go to, but in most cases, a lot of them, are at a real basic level. They don't really teach you the ins and outs of okay, well, how do you set this design up initially? So that's some of the drawbacks of the educational availability of Gd&T. Now, the thing is with Gd&T is that in most cases, what I've seen throughout my career is that it's been used incorrectly. And some may ask, so what if I write it incorrectly? Big deal, so what? Yeah, okay, John, you tell me it's an international language, but down the road, the guys that are saying this, guys and gals that are saying this, are really the designers up front. And the thing is that me being a designer in the past, is that you design something and then you toss it over the fence, and you really, in rare instances, are you really able to see the finished product. But in most cases, you just toss it over the fence and you go on to the next program, and then you do your design. And the problem is that you never really see what the product or the fruit of your labor really is. Now, what I've seen in the past is that, okay, you use Gd&T incorrectly. What I've experienced is that I've seen bankruptcy. Okay. What I've seen in the past is that we're building thousands of these products with hundreds of different parts going together, and basically none of them really bolted up. You really have to what they call file to fit each and every assembly. So remember, like if your profit margins are about 10 to 15% and you're dropping another several percent for rework or whatever it is, right? I mean, that's going to cut basically in your profit margins, and you know, you're going to have some pretty angry shareholders and etc. So the thing is, what I've experienced is I've experienced a bankruptcy at my former company. I've experienced layoff. I was personally laid off because you know, we were basically, you know, losing profit because of rework. And I've just seen chaos. I've seen one design group blame another group because, hey, you know, this is what we really meant, but down the road when you read the blueprint or the engineering drawing, and that's not what their intentions really were. It was so convoluted that no one can really figure out, hey, what was the design intent? So what I'm really saying is that even though GD&T may seem insignificant because they really don't teach it in schools, what I'm really saying, folks, is that it is very important. Okay, it can make or break your design. It can basically put you on the streets. It can basically, you know, you're gonna lose your house if you have a mortgage payment. It has serious repercussions, folks. That's what I'm really trying to say. So if you do have an opportunity to learn, I would highly suggest that you can, and basically try to absorb everything that you can. Ask questions. And when I say ask questions, look, guys, ask the right people. There's people, the ASME community, the ASME Y14 community has this GDTP. It's called a Geometric Dimension Tolerancing Professional Certification. You really want to ask those guys. Now, there's about, I want to say maybe just less than 2,000 certified folks in the world. The numbers are pretty slim. But what I'm really saying is that make sure you ask the right people, because if you don't ask the right people, what's going to happen is that there's going to be confusion, and later there's going to be division. All right, everyone says they know GD&T, but when you get down to the nuts and bolts, to the nitty gritty, you really don't know what they're talking about. So make sure you really ask someone that's certified, because they will set you on the right path. And the beauty about talking about certified people is basically you'll get the same answer every single time. Okay, not one person will answer differently than the other. So make sure you guys ask the right folks. Also, GD&T is very important. So once again, my name is John Kim. Welcome to the GDTOLOGY Channel. What I'd like you guys for you to do is hit the like button, hit the subscribe, tell your friends, and visit my website at gdtology.com.